Silence, a simple and most underrated yet a very important tool in attaining power. It's not every time you have to speak. Words aren't always what they seem. Silence can be more powerful than words. Nothing strengthens authority more than silence. Leaders understand how to use silence as a tactic for speaking up for themselves and as an opportunity to lead. Knowing when to listen rather than speak. To make a point, use your facial expressions rather than your voice. What does being silent mean and what doesn't? Let's get into that first. Being silent and being quiet are not synonymous. You're quiet when you don't make your voice heard despite having something to say, whereas when your mind is in a chaos. Here, you also listen to other people a lot better without any agenda or judgment. It is appropriate that the words silence and listen are anagrams of each other. Now, what are the virtues of silence and how does it increase power? Silence permits us to harness our energies. It provides us the clarity we need to face adversity calmly and clearly. Intentional silence also fosters greater awareness within us. Silence can be useful in the workplace. Silence indicates confidence at work, and executives can use silence to emerge as leaders by, number 1, relationship development. To build trust and effective relationships, you must speak less and listen more, especially when meeting someone for the first time. When you want to start a relationship, ask questions about the other person and listen after immediately introducing yourself. You will learn about the other person and they will listen to you when it is your turn because you have made them feel heard. Number 2, highlighting a point. When you use too many words, you risk losing your point. Silence or using fewer words allows you to be heard when it is most important. Don't respond to every question asked during a meeting. Your voice will carry more weight than those who speak at every opportunity. Number 3, negotiations skills. During talks, silence can be unsettling. You play the other person off by making them wonder what you're thinking. Assume that the other side mentions a salary value. Do not respond right away. Don't say something like, "I'll take it," or "no." Pause. The discomfort of silence will compel the other person to fill the void and begin speaking. They may reveal the facts that you will take advantage from moving ahead in the dialogue. Number 4, managers make decisions whereas leaders empower others. Leaders want to know what others believe before instructing them on what to do. When you present a new idea, solicit feedback from your team members. This will assist you in gaining respect and increase your power. Getting the answer. The sooner you go silent, the sooner you'll get an answer. Many people make the mistake of not finishing the question mark while asking a question. Stop once you've asked the question. Continue with no more explanations or excuses. These words weaken the impact of your message. Answering questions with more impact. Frequently, you're confused with difficult questions and under pressure respond without thinking. Instead, if you hesitate before responding, your comments will have a greater impact. Furthermore, silence disrupts the routine of person asking the question, allowing you greater leeway. Stop once you've asked the question. Continue with no more explanations or excuses. These words weaken the impact of your message. Number 7, focus your mind. You don't need anyone else to benefit from stillness. Take some time out of your day to be quiet. When you wake up in the morning, be silent for a moment. During the day, enter a room and close the door for a few minutes. Take a breather just before going to bed. Allow lots of space before responding to a question. Your initial idea is almost always your worst thought, which can land you in danger. How do you practice intentional silence? First, practice when you're by yourself. Engaging in silence may be difficult at first. Keep it easy by creating a daily practice of 5 to 10 minutes of intentional stillness. During this time, turn off your smartphone, computer, tablet, or any other electronic device. Make a vow to be silent before getting out of bed. You can also designate a corner of your home or outdoor space as your silent spot to examine your environment. Make the time spent in the corner more intimate by noticing the curved lines on your palms, the feel of a breeze kissing your cheeks, and the sound of your breath as you inhale and exhale. Then consider your emotions. You move on to when you are surrounded by other people. Whether you're talking to coworkers or catching up with your spouse after a hard day, pausing before responding is an easy method to practice stillness. That brief moment can have a significant impact on how the dialogue proceeds, especially during challenging conversations. Silence practices begin with your intention to do so. You listen more. Listening is not a passive activity. Simply by listening carefully, one can exert control over the bargaining process. We acquire the trust and confidence of people when we listen well. When people are encouraged to speak up, they reveal their wants, needs, dreams, and plans of action. In a nutshell, they provide us with information. When we sincerely listen to others, we make them feel valued, especially if we maintain effective eye contact while doing so. The issue is that most of us do not listen when others speak to us. We just can't keep quiet long enough to hear them. We're probably simply passing the time until we can jump in and start talking. We should be mindful that every time we speak, we expose ourselves to vulnerability. Are you aware of the 10-second strategy? Most of us are bothered by silence. There is noise all around us in today's environment, from cell phones ringing to iPods in our ears to conversations at the water cooler. We are conditioned to making noise rather than being silent. Try this experiment. The next time you're negotiating with someone and they say something like, "Well, that's my offer," don't say anything for 10 seconds. It's almost certain that they'll respond with another offer or more information. Anything to break the silence. Once you're comfortable with 10 seconds, increase it to 20 seconds. The quiet will cling to them like lead and drive them insane. If you're not fond of asking questions, you'll learn how to do that. Asking questions, another secret weapon of excellent negotiators, is a fantastic method to learn quietly. The individual who asks the questions is in charge of the conversation, while the person answering the question can provide information if you've done your homework. You should already know the answer before you ask. Lawyers aren't taught not to pose a question unless they already know the answer. Sound counsel. What you're doing here is getting the other person to talk, potentially to validate your knowledge, but more importantly, to feel more at ease working with you and therefore to trust you. Let us change it. Recognize that there is no legislation requiring you to respond when someone asks you a question. Try staying silent. The questioner will most likely resume speaking. After a while, a skillful negotiator who genuinely does not want to answer a question can reply something like, "Before I answer that, tell me why you ask." Throw it away. Remember, no law requires you to respond to queries. Pause more between sentences. A recent study found that when listening to a musical symphony, a 1 to 2 second gap between sections causes a rush of mental activity. Could a 1 to 2 second break between phrases be equally as effective in assisting others in understanding our information? Any comic will tell you that the timing of their pauses and delivery impacts their success. Those of us who speak quickly must learn to be more deliberate and master the skill of pausing between phrases to emphasize our points. The flinch, the shrug, the smile. As long as you remain completely silent, all of these behaviors are guaranteed to send a powerful message. The flinch is a fast, abrupt movement of the shoulders accompanied by a pained expression on your face as if you've just been struck. It conveys a clear message that you did not like what you heard. What happens after you flinch? Why not be silent? Wait for the other party to speak up, which they will, most often while trying to sweeten the offer. The shrug conveys the impression that you don't simply care, you're uninterested. Continue to be silent in the grin. A silent smile is tremendously intriguing. Just ask Mona Lisa, leaving the other party to infer what you were thinking. And once again, don't be the first person to talk. Power negotiators, whether sellers or buyers, understand that what you don't say can just be as effective as what you do. Use these suggestions the next time you negotiate and revel in the power that they quietly provide. Many difficulties can be solved by remaining silent. You think more when you speak less. You will be less tempted to react immediately after pausing to ponder. More often than not, the initial reaction to a problem is the worst. There are moments when silence is more powerful than words. Use it effectively to advocate for yourself, lead with authority, and gain influence. Thank you so much for watching. Don't be silent. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to be notified of amazing video content like this. Till the next video, bye.